Yes, Cinder, a remix of Dark Souls 3 by Rotaka. Folks, you know what that song means.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
after a couple months.
Yeah, I know, right? But,
Yeah.
you know, it's how it shakes out sometimes.
It's true. We had to do things like make the schedule,
Right. To do
which
other
we'll be
important
talking about
things.
tonight.
Of events that will be discussed later. Yes, of course.
Yay.
Well, what is it? It's insert credits, round
is.
71.
Hell yeah.
Worth the wait. I hope so, anyways. We are rocking some real good stuff tonight.
yes.
First of all, not the least of which is a slightly updated layout on the Twitch if you're watching this in multimedia form. If you are listening to this in audio-only form, you'll just have to imagine all the cool stuff you're missing.
An all-new MP3 layout.
I know, right?
Yeah, right.
This is a new audio format. It is slightly, actually no, it's not. The audio is not
Yeah.
any different. It's the same. But
That was a lame joke.
I get it.
Oh, there you go.
Poor.
Yep. I needed to get that in before we changed topics. So,
Oh my
you know,
gosh,
here
you're
we go.
such a
Right,
dork.
right. But
I know.
the biggest change you'll see is that during our music segments, you'll now see the live track information that's playing just below the round title. So that's neat and cool.
Hey,
on top of some
parsing
other,
JSON, nice.
right? I know it's tougher than one would think.
Yeah.
But it is a feature that is granted to us after a lot of work for it to be used elsewhere, so we may as well kype it for this thing. So
Yeah, absolutely.
hooray!
As soon
There-
as you had to do that for your anniversary stream.
I did.
So
I did. We may as well make use of it for many, many, many more things to make the work worthwhile.
hell yeah, common code base.
Heck yeah, DRY. Yeah.
I don't.
I
get it.
appreciate DRY.
Yeah, DRY is great. Don't
I'm
repeat
not a
yourself.
developer.
Don't
Yeah.
repeat
Oh,
yourself.
okay.
That's-
Cool.
Dry code is,
Yeah.
is good code.
And you just said don't repeat
Yeah,
yourself
twice.
Yeah,
So,
see?
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm like, huh, okay.
Uh-huh. Yeah, does that
Yep.
drive the point home
That's,
or no?
Hmm.
Well, welcome everybody. I'm MrBond.
I'm Tormod.
And I'm Saxxon.
Is Friday night. Insert credits. It's great.
It is.
I like it. It's very good. Shall we continue to do more of it? I think we shall.
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, you know, another 70 plus episodes.
That would
rounds?
be a lot of
Rounds.
time. Rounds, yes.
Yeah.
That would be, let's see, at our current pace, that would be another 6-ish years.
Yeah,
That'd be a lot of years.
I mean that's true.
We've already been around for like 5, so
More
More.
than that,
yeah.
actually.
2011, like 8.
I was gonna say, try again.
That's many years.
Uh-huh.
That's many years higher than I can count, apparently.
Yeah, well, that's more than just insert credits, though.
That is also including Seeking Infinity for 3 journeys,
Yeah.
and then a little bit of extra stuff in between there, and now finally insert credits in its current form,
Yeah.
which originally started as audio only, but then moved to multimedia beginning of last year, I want to say.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. So moving up in the world, iterating on the process, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
But we're real happy with it. We will obviously continue to make minor changes here and there, but that's how it goes. That's how it goes to stay fresh and clean and
I was
whatever.
waiting for that.
Yeah, see? Yeah, you got to finish it up. Anyways, housekeeping. Next round is slated for immediately after Super Stigma Slam 2019.
And by immediately after, we mean 5 days after.
Right. Yes. The week following.
Yes.
So that would be Thursday, the 10th of October. Why did I say Thursday?
Yeah, I was gonna say are we-
Friday, the 11th of
show.
October. I mark it down on the
Huh.
Thursdays so I remember to do stuff before
Oh, that's fair.
the actual show. So that's why I've always got Thursdays on brain. But anyways, round 72, the 11th of October, that Friday at 7 p.m.
Yep.
I don't know if it's going to be CST or CDT by that point. I think
Yeah,
still CDT
whatever.
because it doesn't switch until
It's
November.
7 p.m. Central.
Yeah, I guess. Stupid time zones.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
But I don't think there's any other housekeeping stuff to speak of. So around the world,
Cool.
Yeah, we didn't actually schedule in November yet.
we did not. No, we
Cool.
kind of stopped there.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just like, you know
probably for
what?
the best.
We're lazy. We're gonna schedule it later.
I'm especially lazy.
I mean, yeah. Who isn't? Who amongst us is not lazy?
I see no hands raised. All right,
Yeah.
cool.
Right? Yeah. So it's too lazy to raise my hand.
Exactly.
Around the world. So we've talked about loot boxes and crap
Oh, God.
a
and
lot.
crap, especially.
Yeah.
Loot boxes being crap, which is also true. So recently, as of when we were supposed to have this show back in let's see, July, August.
There we go.
That's how months work.
Uh-huh.
So there's been some movement on disclosing the odds of loot boxes, aka gambling, by major publishers like Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft. They will be requiring odds disclosure on their console games by 2020. There's also been calls by the UK to regulate loot boxes as gambling.
Yep.
So that's a more recent development. I want to say earlier this month.
Yeah, it was.
That news has come down. So,
I want to say I read something about that this week, where like the UK
Also, yeah.
Parliament
Yeah.
decided to ban all the loot boxes until they get evidence to prove they're safe for kids.
So what's the over/under on that one?
Yeah.
Ha!
Betting
I'm-
joke. I
I'm-
get it.
I'm super pleased that the UK Parliament is kind of firm on this one, because it's bullshit, and it's like loot boxes have kind of grown to be this near predatory thing, really. Especially in people who like don't fully realize how much money they're putting into this game.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it EA that said, "Oh, it's not gambling; it's surprise features," or whatever it was? I think.
Surprise
mechanics.
mechanics.
Surprise
Yeah,
mechanics.
yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you. Yep. This is like, fuck you, EA.
Much like the rest of the mechanics in your games. They're
Right.
quite
Yeah.
surprised because they never win.
Yeah.
Well,
Just so someone is taken to like calling piracy. Oh, it's not piracy; it's surprise sharing. So,
Very good.
Yeah.
I can endorse that one 100%. Oh boy. Twitch is creating their own streaming software.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, rather the closed beta for that has already opened up, I believe.
Yeah.
So rather than supporting existing streaming software like OBS, XSplit,
Yeah,
etc.
isn't it like, is it a fork of OBS?
I feel like I read that it was, but I'm not 100% certain on it.
There were a lot of
So-
rumors, but I don't think we really.
There's enough of that bullshit already. I'm looking at you, Streamlabs OBS, you
Yeah.
pile of shit.
Which is kind of a pile in and of itself.
Yeah.
Cool, I guess. But I won't be using it anytime soon. I don't know. I really don't know what to think about it. If it's good and it lowers the friction for people to stream, good.
Sure.
I think that's positive.
And supposedly that is their mission statement, is to
Yeah.
make it easier for someone to just
Yeah.
push start stream.
Which is good. And
Yeah.
I can see how kind of the technical hurdles of getting something like OBS up and running in a reasonable fashion is daunting. It's scary. Like it took us a while to use it effectively, and we're highly technical people.
Yeah, that's true. I will say, though, with version 24, they've made it a lot easier. You literally sign in with Twitch, and it takes care of the rest for you.
Yeah,
It's
they up to
real
24
nice.
now. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
I'll
I
have
mean,
to
it
check that out.
has chat built in. It has your dashboard where you can like do all of your tags in your game and all that stuff.
and like
It's got all
you
of the
can
recent
dock these
events.
windows, which is really
Yeah,
neat, too.
If you haven't seen the layout that I've got,
I
check out
haven't.
my Twitter at some point in the
Yeah.
media. But I mean, yeah, you can dock the things like chat, your dashboard, and the recent events, so that you can see, hey, I just got rated by blank for this many viewers, etc. And you don't need to use Streamlabs for that, which is great.
Interesting.
Yeah,
By the way, how do you get that split screen thing?
that's multitasking view, and I can show you later, honey.
Okay, cool. Because I want to see Twitch chat too, so I'm just gonna have to like peek over at your screen this whole
okay.
time.
Oh man,
We're highly technical people.
We are very highly
They're
technical
highly technical
people.
people. I only write the software.
You're just a developer. It's fine.
Hey, I also write
I know
software.
that was the joke. Thank you. Yeah.
I mean, I try. It's very difficult. Software is still very magical.
Mhm.
It's a miracle it works. But anyways, good luck with the Twitch streaming software, I guess. I will reserve full judgment until it comes out and is asked, but okay.
Yeah.
Discord is trying out private-ish game streams direct to their desktop or browser app for up to 10 people. Again, this is another thing I don't know how to feel about it.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
Just anxious whining.
One thing I will complain about it immediately, though, is that apparently they turned on the default permissions for it to be enabled for
they
everybody
Sure did.
on voice
Oh, really?
channels. And it's like, come on, really? Give us a fucking warning, please. So, of course,
Yeah, no, that, yep.
every server that I admin, I go in, click, 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 turn that shit off because
Yeah.
thanks for not conferring with me.
It's a default permission, and oh god, why
Yeah.
would you do that?
It's
Yeah.
not. That's not a great start. It's not a
no,
great start.
no, bad Discord. For all the other shit you do, still that's worse somehow.
Yeah, no cookie for you this time.
Yeah, I like.
Apparently, though, they have actually no. I won't steal anybody else's news item because I didn't write
feel
that
free.
one down.
I mean, if it's a good segue, do the thing.
It's not. It's just Discord related, so there's no
Oh,
segue
fine.
involved. But
Well,
I will.
Discord related, that is fairly segue-ish, as we're on that topic. Go ahead.
Okay, nobody else has it.
Yeah.
So they have discontinued their games with Nitro thing going on because
Oh, really?
apparently
Huh.
apparently it didn't go very well, and not a lot of people were into it. Doesn't very well received, so they
Yeah.
stopped doing it altogether. Which okay,
Sure.
Yeah.
Whatever.
they tried, so kudos to that, and
Sure.
then they pulled it. So
Yep.
whatever,
Cool.
whatever.
Yeah.
After multiple years in development, Mojang has announced that the huge Minecraft graphics upgrade will not be happening
Yeah.
anytime
But-
soon. However, 1 week
There we
later,
go.
and this was back in August when this was still fresh, they announced ray tracing enabled graphics through DirectX ray tracing (DXR), which is supposed to be compatible with more than just NVIDIA's RTX.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, it's supposed to be, but
It's the open standard on Windows.
right. That's the wrapper around everything.
Uh-huh.
So that might be happening. So instead of this major graphics upgrade, they have a major graphics upgrade
Uh-huh.
with ray tracing, though. So
Which is,
you're proper effed if you don't have a proper card to take advantage of it.
well, here's the thing, though. With DX ray tracing, supposedly you can go back to the what? Let me think here. The 9 series NVIDIA cards, and it'll be fine.
Did they go back to 9 series? I know NVIDIA
DirectX
themselves.
ray tracing, I think it's a DX11 plus feature.
Really?
So, yeah.
Interesting. Well, who knows the performance on that is going to be. Probably real squiffy considering NVIDIA
we'll see.
themselves software enabled it on the 10 series, and it was kind of
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they're also like, hey, you want to buy those 2000 series cards? Here, have a reason. I'm
I
pretty sure that was
suppose.
part of it.
that I'm
I'm
almost
always
certain
a
that it's
cynic
part
like
of it.
that, but yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're
Yeah.
probably not wrong. It's a business move more than anything else.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
it sure
a
is. Look
business
at
move.
these things you can't have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks.
It is
Yeah.
kind of weird with ray tracing. Like, it tends to have a greater effect on games that don't already look like really pretty.
Uh-huh.
Like Minecraft is pretty in its own way, but like
It
ray
is.
tracing is going to add like so much more to that.
Right.
Versus you take a game like Battlefield, and it's like it's already like very very gritty and just
Your shadows
very
get
detailed.
shadows.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it's not really night and day like that. It's the same thing with they did it with Quake 2.
And
Which
it looks a lot different.
oh my gosh,
Yeah.
yeah, it looks amazing.
I will say that I'd probably try to convince you to spin up another private server again for the simple fact of, hey, let's just go in and explore and see how this looks.
Mhm.
Because I think Minecraft, especially in caves, would look real cool with,
Oh
more
yeah,
accurate lighting and things like that.
some just really cool shadows.
Yeah, I mean, even at present, there is a rather significant lighting mod that does very similar things with lighting
I've-
improvements for that sort of thing. I saw some of the side-by-side screenshots
Gotcha.
on it. I'm like, whoa, looks really nice.
Nice, yeah. I mean, I've literally never looked at mods for that yet because I'm a pleb, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's been like a hot minute since I've played Minecraft, so
Yeah, we're going to guess over 5 years.
I don't know. I might have booted it up like once or twice for 10 or 15 minutes.
I mean, I ended up logging in once
2 or 3
when
years
somebody
ago,
stole my
maybe.
Mojang account and I had to get it back.
hooray.
But yeah, I don't know how that happened, but whatever. It's in the era before two-factor, so anyway.
That's fair.
Anyway.
That's cool. I mean, I guess that's great. Sucks that it's going to be, upper echelon graphics locked pretty much
Yeah.
until further notice. UK courts have ordered their 5 major ISPs to block sites hosting SXOS, the paid Switch piracy OS.
Huh. Didn't know that
Wow.
was a thing.
Yeah, right? So
Again, I'm a pleb, I guess.
it's like I don't disagree with this move necessarily because custom OSs for consoles and shit are usually very careful to spin it on the homebrew angle
Uh-huh.
rather than the straight up piracy angle.
Uh-huh.
And apparently these ones were like, nah, it's for piracy. So it's like, well, what would you expect to
There
happen?
you go.
Yeah.
So rip, I guess, to SXOS.
Sure. Whatever.
The Neo Geo Arcade Stick Pro, an arcade stick branded by Neo Geo with 20 pack-in
I was going to
SNK
say, where's
fighters,
the pick-in crap? There we
Right?
go.
but it can also be used as a standard USB fight stick.
Okay, that's fair. Like, what kind of components does it have?
Does it have good switches?
I doubt it. I very much doubt it.
How are you going to have an arcade release that doesn't have good
Give me
switches
a
in it?
Son with JLF, and I'll even put up with whatever buttons
Yeah,
you put in it. But
I don't know that they released the full specs on it as far as the internal components and whatnot.
Well, I'm already scared.
It's probably a competent controller for the emulated pack-in titles. I don't know that it would be useful in a competitive or professional setting. Probably not, in fact.
Well,
but
I suppose we'll probably hear about it and then whine about it at a later time.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how these things go.
Yeah.
There was
real good at that. Huh.
there was a panel, and I forget who it was at GDC. I want to say earlier this year that talked about getting games converted for like a mini controller, because like a lot of arcade games have like very specific controllers made for them, or they have like additional like buttons or mechanics or whatever, just stuff placed all over. And so there was a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes to kind of map like whatever was going to go into this arcade stick to get mapped to the game without like screwing with the mechanics too much and without changing any of the game's code.
Right. Yeah. I feel like I read something similar, maybe not necessarily GDC related, but about how some of the cheaper kind of TV plug-in ones were either unmodified or very slightly modified NES boards running the shit on the inside. And it's like, whoa, hey, that's pretty cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, I guess, I mean, a lot of it was, classic-ish arcade games, so they don't really need a lot of power, and it's very cheap, and whatever.
6502.
Right?
Yeah, it got refined repeatedly until, they're just all like, well, it might be, under the hoods, at its roots, like a bootleg NES, but whatever, these chips are cheap.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, well, that's a cool repurposing of, 2 decades, 3 decades old technology. It's like, oh, cool. That's what I got for Around the World. What else is new?
All right, well, let's see here. Fire Emblem Three Houses was released on the 26th of July, and it caused some controversy on Metacritic because apparently, much like Borderlands 3, people decided to review bomb the game, which is weird. Metacritic did sort things out, and it appears for now that Three Houses is one of the highest rated entries in the series. So, that's kind of cool, considering after Awakening on the 3DS, everything else just kind of flopped.
Womp.
Fates and whatever else came out, I honestly never looked. I have them, and I've never played them. Let's see. Yeah, big fan of that. I have intentionally not played that game yet because I want to dedicate a good amount of time to it instead of just, my 2-hour streams a night kind of thing. So, anyhow, Billy Mitchell doing Billy Mitchell things again. He submitted a lawsuit demanding that Twin Galaxies restore his records to the leaderboards by the 23rd of September. Along with his demands, he submitted evidence rebuking Twin Galaxies' claim of cheating, which removed his scores in 2018. What a fucklord. Moving on.
Yeah, I read through 100 pages of that. That's not even the whole document,
the
by the way.
The cover's the best part.
Is that the dumb photo with him and the award?
It's official.
Oh, no.
Surrounded by ladies.
Like I thought someone photoshopped that, to like just kind of
Oh, no, absolutely not. That
right
is
from
100%
the document.
him.
Yeah, so yeah. And
Really?
oh my gosh, the whole thing is written as if so if you've ever seen videos of like Billy Mitchell trying to explain away Billy Mitchell,
Good luck.
to a skeptical crowd,
wow.
the document is written exactly the way that he speaks.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
So it
That's
is-
not helping him.
No.
Ugh.
Just to let people know, because we probably didn't hype this up enough last year
That's
in
true.
2018. Yeah, we saw Billy Mitchell at Midwest Gaming Classic, and oh wow,
He was going around doing like his Jesus pose thing, just like trying to get selfies with people.
yeah.
I can't believe I missed that. Shit.
Yeah, we saw, or rather, Eon and I saw him when he was
Oh,
walking
my
past
God.
the area where the Tetris competition was,
Oh.
and Oof.
I thought y'all saw him, otherwise I would have mentioned it. Be
Yeah.
like, y'all, yeah. I was on the fence. Like, do I want to like ironically get a photo with this guy, or
Oh, wow. I
man.
really kind of wanted to, but at the same time, like, I would have just had the ultimate troll face, and he would have
Yeah.
known.
I
He
also
would
don't
have
want to
known.
feed into that,
Yeah,
ego.
I probably wouldn't have been brave enough to go that far, but I would definitely laugh very loudly in his presence and hope that translated as me
I mean, can we
mocking
do
the
the-
shit out of him.
The Ralph Wiggums laugh. Or was it Ralph? No, it's not.
Nelson laugh.
Nelson.
Yeah.
There we go. Usually laughing at Ralph. But, yeah.
So to top off this lawsuit against Twin Galaxies, he also named the Guinness Book of World Records as a defendant as well.
Uh-huh.
So-
Yeah, he sure did.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And they're, of course
so
they're just all
dumb.
like, we kind of don't want anything to do with this.
Uh-huh.
It's so good.
Get lost,
It's
shitlord.
Just, I can't beleave it.
Yeah, no, that's a real
I mean,
thing
no,
that's really happening.
That's not true. I can believe it, but it's just, come on.
Uh-huh.
Beleaguered sigh. Come on.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, moving
Yeah,
on to something else.
I'm gonna let
Right?
that go. I've tweeted enough about
Yeah,
that
it's-
document
it's enough.
and all the BS that's in it.
Well, speaking of other things that are absolutely huge in the games industry, GameStop is to close another roughly 200 underperforming, in heavy air quotes again,
Yeah.
stores this year with more in the future. Big surprise.
Yeah, they disappeared from the mall on the west side. I want to say a couple of years ago.
I didn't even know there was a West Side Mall location. I thought it was by the Target outside of the mall.
They had both.
Oh.
So
Well, look at that. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I know
that
there's
one's
still
still
one
there,
on the East
apparently.
Side Mall, I
there
think.
there is and yeah, I don't know. They I want to say that's the only one that I know of that disappeared. There's like a couple down where I used to live that also disappeared too. So
So chat spicy, but also entirely correct.
Mismanaged into oblivion by HQ.
Yeah.
You're probably not wrong.
Uh-huh.
I cannot dispute that.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't really think there's much else to say on the topic other than,
yeah,
fuckers.
Womp womp.
yeah, it's
Charging me for handling when every place else will
Oh,
ship
they're-
things same day that the game's release.
Ooh, yeah,
free.
and like GameStop selling like the premium consoles and stuff like that, which were like they charge you more than the regular sale of a used console. I don't know what they call them. Is it like premium? Is it certified? It's one of those things. It's
Yeah,
some garbage.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a... Anyway. Moving on to happier things.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII Remake gets a new trailer that was released at the Tokyo Game Show, which was about 2 days ago, I want to say now.
That trailer.
Yeah, it revealed tons more voice acting, which is a lot happier sounding than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
But new scenes that we hadn't yet seen, which I'm excited because I am going to spoil a little bit. They absolutely did show the surrounding events where Don Corneo was a thing. The
Yup.
Let's Make Cloud Pretty saga.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's-
It's gonna be a good time.
I have like I kind of went into this remake kind of skeptical because like any kind of remaster like this is just kind of it turns out to be worse more than better.
Uh-huh.
But holy cow, this trailer made me that much more excited about
Yeah.
the 7 remake.
Yeah, I'm pretty hyped for it. In all
Oh, yeah.
honesty, it comes out in March, so we'll see. It's
Super
very
excited.
interesting because they finally showed something that was a little later in the Midgar, we'll call it story arc.
Yep.
Because that's where the game is going to end, is as you leave Midgar and then go into the next
Mm.
iteration of the
Mhm,
remake. But they show at the very end, after it does the title card and stuff, and it shows more stuff because what
Mhm.
doesn't do that these days. It shows the aftermath of the Sector 7 plate falling.
Yep.
And you get to see a little bit of the playground from Sector 6 right on the outside, and it's just like oof.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, you start to realize just like, oh shit, there were families there.
Yikes.
And oof. Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of a thing. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And if it needs to be released in episodic form to give each part of it the proper pacing for the story and things like that, yeah, I'm fine for it. I don't care how much I have to pay. It's a good story.
Yeah.
I realize that a lot of people are just going to trash it. Hi, Kenny.
Yeah.
But
I really hope it isn't just how oh, we've released episode 1 and you get to play until you leave Midgar. I
Yeah.
would be upset.
I mean, I am going to reminisce briefly when it was... Obviously, the remake had been hyped around since they had the PS3 tech demo. because that's actually when development started.
Has it been that long already?
Well,
Cripes.
they kind of hinted recently that we intended to do something, but we wanted to make sure it was good enough. But yeah, we totally started developing it around then. So yeah, when they finally did announce it, and all they did was start playing music from the very beginning cutscene, and people lost their shit. Yeah, that was a moment. That was a good way to do it. I'm just gonna keep saying that. That was real good. But yeah, they keep saying it's gonna be PS4 exclusive. I know for as sure as shit they're gonna at least bring it to PS5 because it has PS4 backwards compatibility.
Ooh, yeah, Kenny, it'll definitely be awkward if the remake episodes.
Oh, it's
bridge console
absolutely going to do that
generations.
because the PS4 is so close to end of life right now.
Yeah.
So, but
So-
no, they're absolutely going to bring this to PC too. There's no doubt because it's a fucking cash cow.
So do they have to like re-release all the previous episodes after the PS5 comes out then, or?
Well, no, the PS5 has native PS4 backwards compatibility. Just shove the disc in.
Oh,
and
well,
you're
that's
fine.
good.
So, at least that's what I've read. I mean, I could be wrong, but I have heard that. So, regardless, though, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I didn't think March would be as soon as it came out because it's dragged forever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I didn't know this much before it released, and I'm sure other people, probably Sex Rex included, knew that something was happening with Celeste recently.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, so Chapter 9, when was that announced?
When was it announced? Like first announced?
Yeah.
Oh heck, I don't know. It was a while. It was a while ago. It was
Cool,
like
because I was
3 or 4
ignorant to it,
months, I
because
wanna
it just
say.
like appeared on my Twitter timeline. I'm like, hey, that's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Chapter 9's free DLC was released this week.
Monday. Yes.
Yeah, and a lot of people praising it, a lot of people saying, oh god, these mechanics are awful, which is interesting. Yeah. So,
I
I'm
just
assuming
started.
they introduced new things.
They did. I just started
Okay.
playing it on Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, I saw the...
I like it.
Cool. Yeah, cool. Well, I didn't know because apparently I'm bad at keeping up with game news for a show that I talk about game news during.
Right. Well,
I
I
get-
Yeah.
I gotta
think
play through that game the first time.
Well, you didn't get all the way through. You got a substantial way.
Yeah,
About
were
halfway.
pretty
For the
let's see,
A
what
sides.
What chapter were you through?
You got past the hotel.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
And then I
Chapter
did some of the
2.
like.
Were you? Was there wind involved?
Yes, I got to the windy part.
Okay,
you got,
chapter 4.
And then I
Evil
got to the
Madeline
moving
and all that.
platforms and all that. I think that's about as far as I went. Though.
Yeah, you're probably about 2/3 through. I'd
Battle.
say.
Okay.
Right, that's what they call her.
What?
Battling.
Madeline and Battling.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Which I
didn't.
think is utterly cute.
I didn't
but...
catch that the first time around. I would just call her Goth Madeline. So
Oh,
Yeah.
that's fair.
when I heard Battling, I'm like,
Yep.
that makes more sense.
There you go. But no, I mean, I haven't played it
Interesting.
much myself. I mean, I got to the hotel the one time I played it, and I was like, cool. And then it wasn't my game, so I didn't have a save to continue, and I was like, that's nice.
fair.
I'll watch other people play it and speedrun it and do ILs and stuff. So,
Fair.
interestingly, nice. I saw something late last night that
Fair.
I just now remembered. There was, what was that?
Huh.
Like a trailer that they released or something like that?
For
That glitch sound thing where they ended up with the spectrogram having a bunch of
oh
names.
yeah,
and
that
stuff
was,
yeah,
that was
with
an
it.
Easter egg.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what was the audio from? I don't remember.
I think it was someone mentioned it was like glitch noises or something
Oh, it's a
like
room
that.
in Chapter 9 that plays those sounds. Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, because, wow, that's
Yeah.
fucking cool.
And like if you look at it through a spectrogram, there's like pieces of words in some of the sounds.
Kind of.
And so
together,
someone
stitch them together and
someone took all the time to stitch all of the names together and
Yeah, it didn't take long for people to be like,
No,
Yeah.
no. Once they caught into that and the original release from Power Up Audio that did that,
yeah.
people are on that shit pretty quick. But
Yeah.
Power Up Audio is definitely good for that. I mean,
Yep.
they hide shit in there and it's
Yep,
prime stuff.
it is
Chef's
good.
kiss.
Chef's
Yeah.
kiss. That's right.
Shit, I don't have Auth's Very Tasty anymore because he got rid of that emote.
Womp.
No.
That would have been that emote. Oh well. Yeah. So I think
Cool.
it's your turn now.
Yep, it sure is. So, I'm gonna be covering some more PC stuff. So AMD has been on just a magnificent roll lately. But there was a recent problem with their their 3000 series processors, which for whatever reason, like they just weren't able to hit their boost frequency. It just always ended up falling short. And so AMD released Agisa, I guess if you want to make that a
AEGSA.
Oh,
Yeah.
AGSA. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So it's whatever their like motherboard BIOS code thing is.
Yeah, it's basically the processor firmware.
Yeah, version ABBA, which
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Well,
Yeah,
okay, so they
Dancing
started with
Queen.
A, then B, then AB, then ABB, and then ABBA now.
Yep.
Boy.
Woo, it was a
Senver,
ride.
people, it's a thing.
Yeah. So it fixes the issue. Gamers Nexus did a very in-depth review on the fix and benchmarked it and found anywhere between like a 2 and 6% performance increase across the board.
25 to 50 megahertz.
Yeah, even on multi-threaded applications, which was totally unexpected. But yeah, it's small, but it's it's kind of nice to know that there's a step in the right direction. And apparently it's supposed to make it run better at idle too. So so there's that. WoW Classic released. And of course I'm going to talk about
Wait,
that.
what?
Briefly before you do that, I have been looking at people fucking typoing that initialism this whole time. It is AGESA, which stands for AMD Generic Encapsulated Software Architecture.
See, that's what I thought it was.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've been looking at people fucking typoing the thing for the last months.
Eeks.
My bad.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Yay.
Please don't joke.
So, yes. WoW Classic released. And
so did you.
I sure did.
Mhm.
So, day one was an absolute shit show. And that's just because, the servers were absolutely slammed.
As they do.
On some popular servers, like, the servers that streamers have kind of, congregated to play on, which I think the server's called Fairlina. But it's queues on that server, and I think Herod and a couple others ended up being like 10 hours. It was almost like 80,000 people in line just to try and get in.
No.
It was just really nuts. So it's kind of mellowed out now. I think some of the tourists have kind of come and gone. But it proved to be so immensely popular that like Blizzard had to like very quickly open a bunch of new servers like immediately.
You would think that they'd have learned by now.
They should
Yeah.
have really anticipated something like this.
Yeah, like I think they were prepared to add new servers, but I don't think that they thought that they were going to need that many. So yeah, it turns out that it was a pretty big success. After the initial bumps and queues and whatnot. So and after a couple weeks, I am level 32. So just leveling.
And
That's
the
a
cap
power of 2.
is
60.
Okay.
So very, very excited. It's for those unfamiliar, WoW Classic is kind of like a reboot of the original release of World of Warcraft, and it's so whatever stuff that they had like late 2004, early 2005, it is that game.
Mm-hmm.
They just fitted it to the latest version of their engine.
So this is pre-Burning Crusade,
Yep.
etc.
Yep. And so it runs great on modern machines. They've added like BattleNet integration and all this other fun stuff. But they haven't added any of like the newer like quality of life stuff like the group finder and whatnot. Like none of that exists. And they've tried to keep it mechanically as close to the original game as they could. And while people are still reporting new legitimate bugs at that, for the most part, it really feels like the original experience. So, hats off to Blizzard for the success of WoW Classic. I kind of joked around, like, for so many years that, like, WoW was going to be the WoW killer because it was a meme for like many years that like blank is the WoW killer.
Right? Well, they're competing with
Yeah.
themselves, sort of
Yep,
here.
and
so
now that exact same
they
thing is
win.
happening. So yeah, that's a thing.
I
And
just want to throw the name WildStar out there one more time.
oof.
Oh,
I
rip.
invested so deeply
Rip.
into WildStar when it came out, and that bit me
Mhm.
pretty hard. So
Mhm.
yeah. So yeah,
What are
WoW
you
Classic
gonna
is
do?
out. And they even made it so that like, it if you already have a game subscription, you just get it. Like it's just with a live subscription, you get both the retail game and Classic, which is really cool. So yeah, so pretty much it for WoW. We're gonna move
Wow.
on to some other stuff. Wow.
Wow.
Fine.
Something silly. KFC dating sim.
What?
I saw this on the Twitters, and I'm like, that cannot be real. And sure as shit, it's
oh
real.
my gosh, it's very wow. It's
yeah,
very visual
How
novel
did it
style.
Fuck that up so hard.
Huh?
it looks fine to me.
Does it?
Yeah.
Wow. No, I mean, here,
Wow.
look at the iPad.
I'd
What?
rather not. Excuse me?
Yeah, I
Wait,
don't know. It got real fucked up
That's
when I typed it.
interesting.
What happened?
What happened?
Sky Wow Wen Wilson.
Why?
I don't know, but it looks fine in chat. That's
That's
Yeah.
fine here. Yeah. What you talking about?
Thank you, Twitch on iOS.
Oh, beautiful.
Rip.
That's beautiful.
Software is
Wow.
hard, okay?
Yeah.
Huh.
Think about that.
Huh. Hardware
So
is
yeah,
soft?
it's got its own entry on Steam. So yeah,
It's on Steam too. Are you
yeah,
fucking
KFC
serious?
dating sim.
Come on.
Yeah.
Fucking-
Publisher KFC. So like it's an official thing. Like it isn't just someone decided like, oh, we're gonna make a parody game.
You
Like,
know-
You get to date more than just the kernel, right?
Colonel.
Ugh.
I really don't know what it's about. I didn't look into it too much. It just I kind of I was done with it at the point where I hit the absurdity of there being
Yeah,
a
that's-
KFC dating sim.
That's unquestionably worse than Arby's making Super Mario Maker 2 levels.
Super Mario Maker.
Yeah.
We were talking about the absurdity of vegetarian food at Arby's, by the
Yeah.
way, on the way here.
Yeah, you
Not
just
that
They
it's
have-
related to anything.
They
Yeah.
have vegetarian food
It's
at
like,
Arby's?
I don't know if they do.
How-
Oh, okay.
how would they
that would
manage
be
that? And I'm
that
like-
would be very absurd.
Because
gears
there's
kinda
we've
churned
got
for a
the
bit.
not meats.
Yeah, they've got the meats. I can see them if like Impossible Burger did Impossible roast beef or something maybe, but that would
be-
still be very stupid.
bun, lettuce, tomato.
It's a BLT.
Yeah.
That's a sadness for
It is very sad. It is a very sad BLT.
Sorry, I've just derailed us again. Moving on.
Yeah. So yeah, moving on. Sony acquired Insomniac Games.
Yeah, let's hope that's not a bad thing.
So Insomniac Games are the developers of Spyro, Ratchet and Clank, Resistance, that kind of stuff. So I mean, if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. Spyro pretty much just straight up sold PlayStation consoles way back when. And that trilogy, Ratchet and Clank, they've really done a great job at bringing awesome games to the platform. So, it's just going to be, I imagine Sony's just going to want more first party titles from that developer. So
That was another thing we discussed on our drive over was, okay, so Nintendo had Mario, Sega had Sonic. What the fuck did Sony have that was first party?
and see, like everyone,
Crash maybe?
yeah,
Was
everyone
it?
answers Crash.
I don't know. That's the only one I can really think
Yeah.
of for Sony.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
And even that might be third party. I have no idea.
We're about to find out, apparently.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look this up because
The original Crash Bandicoot was published by Naughty Dog.
Oh, okay.
No.
So I don't know that they did.
It was
have
created
one.
by
well,
Andy
it was
Gavin
created by Naughty Dog for
during their tenure at Naughty Dog.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
For Universal Interactive Studios and, SCE.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was for Universal then.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
we were just trying to think like,
It's like there
We
were
couldn't think of
PlayStation
anything.
exclusive games, but there wasn't really like a character that I could recall.
Yeah, nothing that really stood out as being like
Yeah.
a consistent series mascot.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like my headcanon is it's Spyro. Like Spyro sold PlayStations. That's
Oh, okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
So like their recent PS4 commercials have been like a mishmash of a bunch of popular game characters from the PS4 recently.
Mhm.
None of which I think were first party.
That could
So
be.
that's why I was just like, Anyway.
So there's that. It was the Sega Dreamcast's 28th anniversary this month. It originally released on 9/9/1999.
One more year and it can drink legally
Yeah,
in
right.
most states.
Yep. So, yeah, it's unfortunately didn't survive long in the market, but the library was really impressive for the system. So, yeah, who knows? Maybe Sega Dreamcast Mini.
Yeah, 20 years. Think that. Right before the turn of the millennium.
Yeah, right.
I wouldn't doubt
Maybe for
it,
their 30 year.
but
So another 10.
You know,
I don't know. It's hard to tell with that one just because it had such a niche following even when it was out.
I do want to
Yeah.
talk briefly on the chat topic right there. You're absolutely right. The hardware was meant to integrate within home entertainment systems, and the DAC on the PS1 is still regarded as one of the best consumer grade available, I guess, audio players at the time. So there you go. Oh, Vlad.
Yeah.
Oh, honey.
They really did just had like some really outstanding hardware in the PS1.
Yeah. No, it was real
It
great.
was something.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
something.
I remember going into Toys R Us at the time and seeing the big old window decals for it.
Yep.
And I was just like, what's this? Why are there symbols on the buttons? Yeah.
Oh, did you hear about the other controversy involving Sony with that? Whether it was called the X button or the cross button?
I've always
I've
heard
never
cross
heard that
being
one.
official.
Yeah. Apparently,
I-
people are getting their panties in a bunch about if it's called X or cross, and I don't know what the official thing is for it now.
Yeah. Yeah, because whenever you see it printed in a manual, it's like
It's just the symbol,
button.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay,
Huh.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think
like
it's-
if you think about it though, like those symbols within like I think that they would have more cultural significance to someone who is from Japan.
Right, because the whole, cross or O for
Yeah.
no and yes, right?
So maybe it is cross. Who knows? Maybe it's X.
Could be either. It's just funny
Yeah.
that people are getting all up in
We're
arms about
we're gonna have to ask someone from Japan to give us the answer on that one.
it.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's see. The last item that I've got here that we didn't cover earlier is Epic Games. Yeah, the Epic.
Already
yeah, I
we're
know.
just like,
You're just like, ugh. Yeah, it gets worse.
well,
the Epic,
it's Epic Games.
the Epic Games Store scoops up another exclusive Oddworld
Shocking.
Soulstorm.
Oh, well, nobody cares about that game.
I don't personally, but I know a lot of people really
mean,
like
I
the
was-
Oddworld series.
Yeah, I think the series it's really goofy and extremely entertaining.
I mean, fair.
Really goofy and kind of dark,
extremely goofy.
but
Yeah, that's true too.
So
Dark and goofy.
yeah, it's just another casualty sucked up by the Epic Games Store vacuum.
As you do.
Yep. Slurp.
Gross. And you don't.
Yep.
We can't certainly don't.
Mm.
Sure.
Mm.
Yeah.
We can certainly don't.
Can't doodly or something.
You totally know it, Ned.
Yeah.
All right. Is that all the news that's fit to print?
That's all I've got.
Yeah, sure.
Fantastic.
Oh.
How about some Toonskis then,
Ooh,
huh?
I like Toonskis.
Sure, I think Twitch just crapped itself.
Womp.
Dumb thing. All right, whatever. Cool. Yeah, Toonski's got it. All right. First up is Sticker Brush by Ocean's Andrew from Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Conquest.
Then a remix from FTL entitled An Open Galaxy by Sir Nuts.
Followed by a remix from Chrono Trigger titled Monstrosity/Abhorrence by Magnetic Ether.
Okay, so an extra no Meep. Meep is actually very dangerous now because of our
right?
layout updates. That's bad. That could result in even more bad information. So I have to be on my game and not allow it to Meep anymore.
Oh yeah.
So we've had an extra month. That means we played an extra month's worth of games, right?
Honestly, yes.
He
I'm gonna get
has.
started. Well, I mean, you were there. All right. Anyway,
I guess.
so we've been obviously playing in a Pathfinder campaign together several weekends a month generally, and it's been months now. So, recently hit level 10. I am a holy tactician paladin archetype dwarf, and absolutely tanky. Now I've got 130 some HP, and
Jesus.
yeah, it's real good. And Kogu is turning into some sort of scary thing. Really though, phone? Really?
Lol.
You're
We're not doing a show here or anything. Don't worry about it.
I play a bard.
okay, Kogu. No, you're not gonna do it now. Stupid.
Oh,
thing.
it picked up the.
Yeah.
That's my character's
Brilliant.
name.
That's
Love it.
My
fantastic.
character's name is Kogu.
So, yeah.
Oh.
I'm
Hilarious.
gonna just shove you down there.
Oh, jeez.
Oh.
Come on. PG.
Never borrow.
Go ahead, Kogu.
Yeah. I mean, I'll borrow it. I don't care.
Obviously. Anyway,
Yeah.
moving on. Talk about your character, Kogu.
All right, fine. Yeah, okay. So I play a bard, and a rather squishy bard at that. So basically, the only thing that he's got is wit.
And height. On all of the rest of us.
I get it.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, and but I'm taking a level in Oracle, which is going to give him a curse that the party doesn't know about.
Okay.
In game, at least.
Yep. And then he's also going to be like even more attuned with like nature and stuff. So
I believe you've chosen a curse where in battle, all you can do is speak Celestial, right?
yep.
Okay.
Yeah, in character the party doesn't know anything about it. It's just like suddenly the bard is going to be singing in a language that they don't understand.
But they still get buffs from.
That's true.
Oh, hey. So what? So what?
Yeah.
yeah, we're just going to be like, hey, what's going
Yeah.
on? Let's RP this.
Wait,
Ah.
Our cleric will know that language, but I
That's
think that's
true.
about it.
yeah, none of the rest of us are smart enough to know enough languages to have taken
You
that.
just happen to not have that language.
But you'll still get buffed. Will you know what the buffs are?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's inspire courage, etc.
Very courageous. Oh,
Yeah.
so did you remove a headphone jack
What's up?
to inspire courage?
No.
Oh,
I inspire courage in meaningful ways.
I get it.
that didn't land very well.
Finally. No, I get it. We're good.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
We-
Fucking Apple.
Woof.
Yeah, I know, right?
Gosh darn it.
Oh
Anyway.
my gosh.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Pathfinder's a good time though, and we play with some really awesome folks.
Yeah, we're going to be heading up. Unfortunately, we couldn't also play tomorrow because
Yeah.
the other couple, well, one of the other two couples, I guess, had other obligations tomorrow, but we're going to be up in the Green Bay De Pere area doing that Sunday, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
But ordinarily, we would play most of the day on Saturday, most of the day on Sunday, and then drive back. So,
Yep.
it's a lot of tabletop gaming in a weekend, which is nice.
Yeah.
Considering the drive is what 4 hours. You want to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Make it count.
we get in about 12 to 14 hours worth of Pathfinder on any given weekend.
Yeah, it's real
Which
good.
It's
yeah,
a lot of that.
yeah,
Yep,
our
sure
characters
is.
are definitely leveling up that fast too. So that's nice.
Yeah. Beyond that, we actually went and visited Author Blues and Skybills, and I guess
yeah.
also Lap, that place here, who was
Yep.
in the chat earlier,
Mm-hmm.
and played some tabletop games there too. We ended up playing a game called Paperback, which is like a Dominion version of Scrabble. So it's a card deck building game, except you build words with the cards and stuff. So that was real fun. Ended up buying a copy of that I intend on playing with other friends locally. Also play Betrayal at House on the Hill, which I had played before, and it
Yep.
was nice to get back into again. They
That's such a good game.
released how do I say, like an expansion, I guess, honestly pretty inexpensive. It was only $20, but they add a bunch of scenarios to the game and stuff.
Is that the one which you build the house with the panels and
Yep.
okay?
And
Alright.
then, yeah, you perhaps would have somebody who would betray you, etc.
Yep.
So
I played the expansion with Cheesecake
Right.
earlier this week. Actually, it was yesterday. And they introduced a bunch of new rooms. There's a new level called the roof level. But any card that says like upper level can be played on the roof, but like not vice versa. Like there's some roof only cards.
Sure.
Was that
on fire?
What's that?
Okay, moving on. It was bad. Don't worry.
That
about
was
it.
really
Oh.
bad, actually. Did you not need water?
What the-
Did you just let it
Motherfucker
burn?
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
Finish that one
We
off.
did it. And now it's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Double tap. All right.
They never let us just run out of the house and escape.
Yeah,
wouldn't be
that's
very fun.
true.
Yeah.
Rocks must fall.
Uh-huh.
Everyone
And-
dies.
Well,
Yeah.
There you go. We're not playing Pathfinder. Shut up.
Is that a thing in Pathfinder too?
And it's a tabletop game.
Okay,
for-
I figured it
Hey,
was.
that's a great way to die in NetHack if you're
Yeah,
low
oh, it
level.
sure is.
Sure.
I have
is.
gotten killed early game by so many rock traps.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, and if not you, it's your pet that ends up eating
Yeah,
it.
Which
too.
sucks.
Often
I
does.
care more about them than I care about myself.
Womp.
Yeah.
But, whatever.
Rocks fall, the dog dies. Oh.
No!
Oh.
Bad.
Restarts.
Yeah.
This isn't Yellow, or never mind. Old Yeller.
Old Yeller. I don't think Old Yeller was killed by a rock though.
True. It was a very small and highly accelerated rock.
Okay. I'll allow it.
Wow.
Yeah, we're gonna get off this topic. It's a little dark.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it
getting a
is.
little darker.
Why is
each
that the
passing
direction
moment.
you went?
I don't know.
Gosh.
Phew.
Anyway, we also played Cryptid, which is real interesting.
Oh, yeah, I love that
So basically, everybody who plays has context clues as to where some sort of weird entity on the map lives, but they don't know what
Okay.
everybody else's clue is.
Okay.
And you have to negotiate like, hey, I think that you have this rule or whatever, and then you put markers on the board whether it's true or false. And
Yeah.
eventually you have enough markers on the board where you can kind of narrow it down.
Yeah,
Okay,
you don't
I
really
getcha.
declare that you think you know someone's rule, but like that's kind of what you're trying to figure out.
Yeah.
And so you'll, ask another player like, tell me about this spot on the, on the hex grid because it's a hex map.
Yeah.
And
I
so
see.
you'll be like, tell me about this spot, and like they'll tell you if they know for like a fact that it's impossible for the cryptid to be in that spot, or they'll place a different round token if they're
If it
like,
can.
like
based on the
my
rules that
rule
they have.
doesn't say it can't be here.
I see.
So I'm
Okay.
going to put this here.
Yeah.
So you narrow down the possibility space
Yep.
until somebody is
And
able to figure it out.
For every single game, there's only one hex spot that matches everybody's rules.
Yep.
Okay.
And so, but you're trying to assess like what's someone's rule based on how they play. Now, if you guess if you ask someone about like a hex tile, and they say it can't be here, then you have to play one of your own cubes that's set that according to your own rule as well. So that's how stuff gets revealed around the board.
I get you. Okay.
So basically it's a monster finding, map building, guess who?
Yeah,
Kind
map building is a little inaccurate, but
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
Hey,
you're populating a map.
that's true.
So that's kind of where I'm at with that one.
Yeah.
But that was a fun game. I would play that again.
Yeah. I would absolutely play that.
Recently we had I guess it was brief, but we ended up having a board game night at Eon and Sarah's last weekend, or Misses of Numbers.
Co-op Minesweeper. I like that.
Yeah, right.
that was pretty close, actually.
Where basically it was this stained glass game that you have colored dice, and it's like Uno, sort of, except with dice, and whatever. It's kind of hard to explain, and we don't remember the real name of it because they called it Dice Game.
Yeah.
Well, that's very
I
specific.
don't remember what dice
Thank
game
you.
Yeah, so I sent Eon a message over the break, like, "Hey, can you tell
What
me
is
the real
this
name?"
Yeah,
actually
so-
called?
So it's so each player at the table has a grid that is 5 by. Is it 5 by 5? Is it like 6 by 4?
It's 5 by 5.
Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
And on these grids, there are like different colors and also different die values. And if you have a color, that means that only a die of that color can be placed there because
Okay.
there are multiple colors of dice. And the die value, like if there's a 1, you have to put a 1 there. And you go around the table. You just you roll a bunch of dice, and you go around the table picking out the one that you want, and you stick it on your board.
Okay.
The additional rules are you can't have 2 adjacent of the same number, or 2 adjacent of the same color. So
but they can be diagonal.
Yeah.
Sounds like an advanced version of Yahtzee
Yeah, you could call it
and
that.
bingo.
Gosh, I
Yeah.
have not played Yahtzee in a
Or
long
Kismet.
time.
Yeah.
We had
Now-
Kismet. I never understood how to play Kismet.
Now there's a fixed number of turns, and if you manage to place it, like you have enough squares to be able to place a die every turn.
Mm-hmm.
If you have to pass, because there's an impossible way to play things, then you pass. Which means you're going to have like an empty spot at the end of the game, which is worth no points.
Right. And
Okay.
you want to accumulate as many points as you
Right,
can.
right.
Yeah.
Yep. There are tools that you can use. You have a given amount of currency depending on the grid that you got. Some of them are worth more currency, and some are less.
So the
And-
harder the card is to play, the more points you have to spend on these tools.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so
Balance it
you
out.
can use these tools to like move dice around or flip it over to like the number that's on the opposite side or whatever. You can like violate the rules in some manner with some of these tools, which is kind of nice. Yeah,
The
and
more
you
you
just
use them, the more they go up in price every time somebody wants to use that tool. So the first time
I
the
see.
tool's used, it costs 1. The second time 2, and then
Okay.
it remains at 2.
yeah.
But there's, I think, 3 total cards
Yeah,
that you
there's
pull for
always
tools
3.
per game. Yeah.
Yeah, those apply to throughout the whole game. So like,
Mm.
the way that you might play it is completely different depending on like the tools available, the cards you get, the dice people roll.
Mhm.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, I would play it again. It was
Yeah. And then at the
really
end you
low
just
key, and I liked it.
yep, once everyone has played all their turns, it's like 12 turns or something. Then everyone tallies up all their points and you figure out who won. So
Yeah, it's real short.
Hmm.
So yeah, it was cool. And if I found the name of it, I would probably buy it.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure we'll see it in a game store
I'll
somewhere.
just go to I'm bored. That's the best
Yeah.
pun.
You
And be
just
like,
walk up
hey,
to
do you have that dice game?
I'm sure they're gonna know exactly
Yeah,
what
we've
you're
got a
talking
whole
about.
aisle of dice games over there.
Yeah, exactly. That's a real fun store, by the way.
funny.
Yeah.
Like since they've opened it and actually gotten more business and had more inventory in there, it's
Oh
it's
yeah,
pretty cool.
yeah. They started with the location like on the west side of Madison.
Yeah,
and
it's in
opened up a
Middleton
new one.
for a long time.
Yeah, and they opened up a new location over by us shortly after we moved
So
there.
nice.
And oh my gosh, it's so cool to go in there and see all the games.
They have a rewards program where you earn hero points.
Uh-oh.
Really?
Yep.
Don't tell me that.
Too late.
So hero points are a type of currency in Pathfinder where you can do heroic actions.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
I
you-
finally get that after having played Pathfinder.
So you can be heroic at this store by buying more shit.
Exactly.
I think those hero points
like
are
a
a
loot
house
box.
rule.
No, hero points are an actual thing.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know. Cool.
But I mean, like, you can implement them however you want.
Yeah.
But I
Right.
mean, like, it's not like it's a de facto. This is whatever.
Interesting.
Anyhow, back to the video games thing. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, very briefly. Super Mario Maker 2, I did some of on my birthday stream, and I started playing through story mode, and I think I was like 30-some% done. Played a lot of TGM, bashed my head on a lot of TGM.
Mm-hmm.
Got a remarkable amount of PBs, actually. My personal best for level is now 680. You know what? I'm just going to bring up my dashboard because all my PBs are on there. And I don't want to mess around with the app on there.
Crashed again.
You know, right? View dashboard. Okay, cool. Level 680, grade S5 now.
Holy cow.
And points, I got 54,992, which is kind of halfway between S5 and S6. So, yeah, that was pretty okay.
Yeah, just keep pushing.
I mean, that's the grind.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's just been making me abundantly salty, and I want to not be that way. So I'm gonna take a brief break from that, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, I absolutely love using arcade sticks, and I went back to Tetris DX a bit too. Remember, the reason I stopped playing that was because every controller I try is shitty for it. But I did commission a custom SNES joystick last year, unfortunately, it shipped with an octagonal gate.
A womp.
So I went to use it. It was like, oh god, no. It's the same issue that I have on real controllers because diagonals make you go in every direction. So yeah, we ended up flipping that when we visited Eon and did that game night. So now it's a diamond gate, so that up, down, left, and right are discrete. So I'm gonna give that a try again at some point. Played some more Octopath. Still haven't done any speedrunning stuff of it. I really want to finish the casual playthrough first because spoilers and stuff. I want to get through the entire game plus the other stuff. I'm not going to detail that. So, Octopath is now out on PC. I'm going to finish the casual stuff on Switch because I already have 70 plus hours in it. There is... I can mention this. There's been a lot more news about the prequel to Octopath Traveler that's going to be a mobile game, which is surprisingly similar to Octopath. It's going to have up to 8 party members be able to be controlled at the same time. And it looks very similar to the console/PC release. It has a fabulous soundtrack from what was previewed already. So I kind of want to get some sort of HDMI output doohickey for this thing so that I can do capture. And I'm guessing this is a 3x2, I think it is.
Pretty close, I would
Yeah,
think.
yeah. I'd probably use a GBA layout for that then. So yeah, no, I mean, I'm actually really interested in giving that a shot. So now that iOS has built-in joystick support finally, yeah, you can sync PS4 joysticks and whatnot to it, so, or controllers, I should say. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I have no idea when that's going to release. I've intentionally not looked up a lot of information because I want to be, oh, hey, it's out, cool, binge. But yeah, that's all I've played. There's a lot of games there.
Yeah.
That's quite a list.
And so he covered a whole lot of the board games and stuff that I would have listed. Yeah, gosh, that pretty much all the board games. In addition to that, though, of course, World of Warcraft Classic. Pretty much just I'm pretty much spending my extra time just getting all the way to 60, and then I'm gonna give it a break, and then I'm gonna go back and do all the level 60 stuff. So, but on top of that, during downtime, or queue time rather, I've also been doing some speed routing for 2 retro games that I think would be kind of cool to eventually submit somewhere. So, hint.
Can't imagine where. No idea.
So one of them is the PC version of Legacy of the Ancients. And the reason I mention the PC version specifically is, so I pretty much grew up playing the Commodore 64 version of that. That was kind of my jam. It's, a really fantastic CRPG for the era. It's very 80s, but it's pretty light for, difficulty-wise. The reason why I've switched to the PC release is basically for the speed of the game itself. So right now I have basically just a retro monster. The thing is like, however many gigahertz it is, it's over 2 gigahertz, running DOS games. So running a game from 1989 is really going to be no challenge.
With how many gigabytes of RAM?
That kills me.
I have to limit it to half a gig because otherwise Windows 98 shits the bed. So,
fantastic.
So but I do have in that machine a 5 1/4 floppy drive. Not only that, it's one of the more modern ones. So it was manufactured in '89, which means I can put pretty much anything released on the PC in that form in that drive and image it. It turns out that the discs that I got were immaculate. I imaged both of the floppies. They're 360K floppies. So I have pure installer, all that good stuff. Installed the game, runs perfectly. I even got the code wheel. So
that's important.
I'm going to have to work on those code wheel strats because I do have to use it once.
Yeah.
So you said you use the PC version because of the speed of the game. How does that affect the rules for running it then?
That's the thing, is I'm really certain nobody's running this game. So I'm pretty much going to be writing the rules for this if I ever decide to make a leaderboard.
No DOS box. Haha.
I don't care.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I was gonna say if you wanted to be a pedantic jerk, you could do that.
Yeah, I would be shocked if someone has any leaderboards for this game out.
Well, it's not on speedrun.com, but
Yeah.
it's not really the be-all, end-all
Yeah,
of all
like
of it. So.
if you look
it's
on
not Twin
YouTube,
Galaxies.
if you look on YouTube for a complete run of this game, it's just me doing the Commodore 64 version. I'm the only one who's done a full video.
Well,
of
there
this.
you go. So when you do eventually make the speed category for it, take into account that not everybody's going to have a 2 gigahertz, 512 meg
Yeah.
RAM DOS box.
Here's
Well,
the
that's on
thing,
them.
though, is so my machine is basically going to run the equivalent of a really fast computer running the game on DOS box. So just the fact that I'm running it on like actual hardware versus DOS box, I don't think is really going to make it much of a difference. And honestly, because it's a game from 1989 and it does not scale with processor speed at all, it's actually mindful about that.
Huh.
It's really not going to matter what you play it on, as long as it's not a potato. So maybe you can play it on a potato. I don't know.
Wait.
All I can think of now is just Princess
Yeah.
Potato.
I hear
I mean-
there are some printers that can run Doom. So,
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
and,
smart fridges,
and
too.
they've been able to port Java to a potato. So,
Oh God.
so
Can
I
we
don't
not
know.
influence me to drink more? Thanks.
That's right. You were
Yeah.
drinking corn before. So
Yeah.
That's true.
We'll drink
Yeah.
potatoes next.
Uh huh.
So yeah. So Legacy of the Ancients for PC. It's a 4-color CGA game. But so it's a little garish. However,
Oh, come on. Cyan and magenta.
but
It's
it
the
uses
best.
both palettes. It
Huh.
uses both the red.
Interesting.
It's the red, green, yellow palette and the cyan, magenta, white
Okay,
palette.
garish is correct. then.
Yeah. It switches between the two depending on
Oh,
where you
boy.
are.
Does it dither?
There are some graphics dithering, yes,
Oh.
but at 320 by 200, it's really obvious what the dithering is.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's so that's a game that I like to route, even though like all the movement is basically instantaneous. I can just fly through the dungeons. It's gonna go as fast as the keyboard can allow me to input, which is great.
Is it turn-based?
It is.
Okay.
Sort of. So if you leave
Wow.
the game, it will advance the turns automatically and make
I
you
see.
do nothing. So there is kind of a time limit on how long your turns are. But once you're playing through, it's still very turn-based. So it's going to come down to how fast can I execute through menus. How quickly can I amass the amount of gold that I need in order to succeed and get all the proper training.
Mm-hmm,
How far into the different training things, because in order to increase your stats, it's kind of like arcade game type things.
Yeah.
So it's how far into that do I want to go before additional point and stamina is not going to matter, that kind of thing.
Right.
And also figuring out the order that I want to visit the towns and do the quests. Because the way that you win Legacy of the Ancients is you just keep increasing your level. The way you do that is by completing quests. It's a very linear RPG. Even though you can pretty much go anywhere in the world, in order to gain a level, you have to do a particular task. To get to level 2, you have to visit all of the available museum exhibits. In order to do that, you need to get the jade coins and topaz coins and stuff to use at the exhibits, because they unlock the exhibits and you can interact with them. So you pretty much go out in the countryside, get your coins, come back to the museum, view the exhibits, back and forth, and then the caretakers are like, hey, you gained a level, have some more max HP, but I'm not going to heal you. So
Oh, lame.
Yeah.
so that's kind of how that game goes. And dungeons are all done in like a classic 3D dungeon crawler-esque, but it's still tile based,
Right,
map
yeah.
So
system.
cool though.
Okay.
What's up?
I love that kind of stuff.
It's a really great aesthetic.
And I could be wrong, but I believe the Etrian series does something very
Yes.
similar.
Yeah.
Except
And that
you
I
don't-
would love to play.
Yeah,
I've
except
never done.
for you don't get to draw your maps out in this game. You got to do it on paper.
Well, that's fair. Now, when you were mentioning menus, it's akin to the Dragon Quest series, where you stand over a tile and you have a bunch of actions and you do them, that
Yep.
kind of thing. So I figured I'd mention that.
Yeah. So there is a shortcut. You can press the first letter of any action on the left side, since
nice.
each action has a unique first letter. So I'd hit A for armor, and I could select the armor. W for weapon, H for hold, U for use, that kind of thing. Wow.
Yeah, that was
That thing that just happened on your iPad.
Gotta love beta software.
Yep.
No, you don't.
It just started strobing.
Oh,
Yeah, that was real cool.
So yeah, Legacy of the Ancients. I have a feeling that with enough practice, I could theoretically get it down to maybe an hour and a half, maybe even lower. Doing it on the
It'd
Commodore.
be an entertaining run.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Doing it on the Commodore 64 took me about 5 hours. So, which is kind of funny because they advertise 60 hours on the box or something like that. So.
I mean, if you're a potato.
you gotta
Yeah.
count.
And that's with all the delays and disk loading and all that other
Yeah,
fun stuff. So,
uh-huh.
but for me, it's like it's off solid state. It's gonna load instantly. So,
Yeah, okay, never mind. I'm not going to get you derailed again.
yeah. So there's that game. And then also, I guess I didn't really mention this before, but I now have a working Commodore 64.
That's how I was going to derail you.
Yep. So yeah, and that's going to go into the next game. So there's someone out there who made a replacement Commodore 64 motherboard, and
You drop the chips into it.
that's what you do.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
there's if sockets. So basically, you drop the chips in, flip the lever, there you go. And I went and salvaged all of my old systems, non-working ones, got all the sound chips, the video chips, everything out of them.
Huh.
So like I've got NTSC chips and PAL chips and new SID chips and old SID chips, and people are trying to sell those things for like $40 or $50 nowadays. It's kind of wild. But I managed to find a combination of chips that works, and I also have like a cartridge that like emulates a disk drive at the appropriate speed. So that's all solid
And
state
it
too.
makes noises.
It does. It is a little speaker in it, and it makes little drive
Why,
noises.
though?
Because,
You can't tell what the disk drive is
People.
doing otherwise.
yeah, that's true.
Really?
On a real system, yeah, that's the only way you know that it's still loading.
Huh.
Chonk, chonk.
Yeah, because if it has a disk error, it just
Interesting.
strobes the drive light.
Yeah,
So
Huh. Okay.
it's cute.
Yep. So I got that machine so that I could do some Commodore 64 runs, and the run that I've been practicing doing is Uridium, and that is a kind of a schmicide.
We've canonized that name
Oh
here.
yeah,
Did we?
it is an
Yeah, that is the thing you've
extremely
mentioned.
fast game. Like so, a schmicide that plays at a full 60 frames a second at all times
Ooh,
on the system.
it's kind of rough.
Yeah. And like the only input that I've got is like a joystick designed for the Atari system.
So
So
Huh.
up, down, and shoot.
yeah.
Oh, okay. So not even back and forth.
Oh,
just,
you absolutely
Will
back
you?
and forth.
Okay, yeah,
Oh,
I can't
okay.
remember
I
if
was
that
about
was
to say,
one of the
wow,
three
that's,
ways.
Yeah, there is deceleration time. So like if you're really booking it, like you hold the other direction, it's all like
you
skirt,
slow
gotta
down
go
a
around.
little bit. Yeah, okay.
So there's that. But like because of how fast it moves and that it's 60 frames a second, like you can just ram yourself into a wall like just split
Oops.
second. It is a really fast game for that system. So the Uridium is that there's waves of ships that come along and like try to shoot at you and blow you up and stuff, but the ships go by, like they don't turn around and try to hit you or anything like that. They just go by in different patterns and whatnot. And your goal is to make it around all of these walls, all these obstacles, don't get shot by all the waves of other ships coming through, and land on the landing pad at the end of the stage. And these stages are called motherships. So you're landing on this mothership, you're initiating the self-destruct sequence, and then you're getting the heck out. So after you complete the bonus game, which if you don't complete, you actually blow up and lose a life. That's
Oh,
fun.
womp.
So after you complete the bonus
Bonus.
game, then you get your points, towards you and stuff like that, and then you fly off the ship and you just it self-destructs, but you still get to shoot at things as you're passing by it as it blows up to gain extra points for the things you didn't shoot on the way to the landing pad.
I see.
So it's kind of cool, like, if there's some really difficult to hit stuff or whatever, you can get the extra points on the way back. And there's 15 of these stages, and they get really intense after about... You get to the second half, and it gets super nuts. There's also a maneuver you can do to, like, flip your ship, like, to the side, because there are some really narrow crevices that you have to get your ship through.
I see.
And the way you do that is you hold down the fire button and then you pull down or press up, and it flips your ship in the appropriate rotation, which is kind of a pain because it doesn't always work. So you can, you know,
you got to get that
Okay.
timing right.
Interesting.
it's so brutal.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, that's Iridium, and there's two major versions of the game. The first version is you can't land at the end of the ship until it says land now at the top of the screen, which is all of the enemy ship waves have gone through, and then you can land. The version I chose, though, is the one that doesn't restrict you to this. It allows you to land at any time. It was an official release, so I can use it.
So as soon as you get there, just land and be done with it, huh?
Pretty much. So that's the speed game, because otherwise you're only as fast as the land now prompt.
True.
So just zoom through all of these ships, make it all the way through, yeah, that's pretty much the speed route. And the routes are basically, how do you fly through this as fast as possible without blowing yourself up, because that's really easy to do. And so, yeah, those are pretty much the games that I've been really into. Just not as many games, but really deep into the ones that I've tried to get into, because I think I'd like to bring both of these games to a marathon one of these times.
Right on.
I think I know a couple that she could submit it to.
Mm.
Very, very unheard of ones, but
Well, maybe get with me after the show.
might be able to get you an in with the organizers. And, jeez, so lame. All right, so back when I bought Ye Olde Switch, it's like back in May or something. Also bought Breath of the Wild, and I finally finished that. Yay!
Oh wow! And I haven't even started.
Yeah, it's a fun game. I really like it.
Nice.
I want to say I did like 95% of everything just by going through and just popping around everywhere and not really paying attention to the actual progress until I really needed to actually go somewhere. So that was fun. I can see why people like it. I can see why it's a very well revered Zelda title, because it's very good. It very much reflects what the OG Legend of Zelda was. Here's a world, go nuts.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, okay, I will, and then get my ass handed to me. But hey, you know, that's how it goes. So there was that. Do some Mario Kart every now and again, Mario Kart 8DX or whatever.
Give us a new one.
You can give us a new one. There's plenty of it there.
I know, but we've done the same 48 tracks so many times.
If you think a new one is not going to have half retro tracks, I've got a bridge to sell you.
They might,
but they're
they
not
might
the
bring
exact
back
same.
Yeah, they
Right.
might bring back other tracks that haven't seen a revival yet.
I suppose that's true. I don't know. I still got to make it all the way through this one first.
Yeah.
So they can wait a little bit. That's fine.
Fair.
Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, I played through and finished up. It's a very competent Metroidvania. Oh, sorry, Igavania. Same damn thing.
What's the difference?
Koji Igarashi, the progenitor of Metroidvanias, pretty much, for Castlevanias and all that. It's Igavania, whatever. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's just a dub portmanteau of his name.
Okay.
It's a good game. It was a little buggy, which is, par for the course for any game. I think it's just software that works is a miracle in and of itself.
Yeah.
Also played through Monolith. It's a fun little shmuppy, bullet helly, single room at a time game. It's very fun, very interesting. In fact, we'll see a showing of it very soon. So that should be a good time. Also played through Iconoclasts.
Oh yes.
Which is a 16-bit-ish side-scrolling adventure platformer RPG. Very, very solid, I felt, in my opinion. I think it tries to have a very strong message about certain things that I don't think land entirely, but it's a very competent game regardless. So it's like, okay, I bought it and I played it and I had a good time, and that's the best you can hope for sometimes. As mentioned earlier, it's picked up Celeste for the Chapter 9 DLC. Oh man. So I played through the entire thing, did all A, B, and C sides for chapters 1 through 8, did a handful of golden strawberries across all those.
Nice.
And it was a good time. Very difficult game. Chapter 9 is also very difficult. I don't know how long it is. I don't know how far through the game I am, or through that particular chapter I am. But it feels very much like, Celeste. It's very, very tight platforming. They do introduce a couple new mechanics, some of which I guess people don't like, but I don't know. Maybe I haven't reached far enough into it to really get to something that I don't like. But I'm a sucker for that game, so I didn't really read any reviews or anything before. And it's free. It's a free DLC, so it's like I already had the game. I already enjoy Celeste. What am I gonna? I'm not gonna play it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's free content,
right? That stupid image meme. It's free.
Yeah. Tim and Eric show.
Yeah, that's what that's from. I can never.
For whatever reason, I can remember that only ever having seen the show once.
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure, but whatever. So on the Shmup Book Club side of things, we finished up with Battle Garega, or as it's called, Butt Greg, or but I call it Butt Gargle just because.
Oh.
Yeah, I know, right? It's a game.
Wow.
It's definitely a game. It has many problems with contrast, being able to see bullets coming at you and such.
Gee, it's just like the grayscale bullets in Jamestown.
Right, kind of a little bit. Rip. So that was back in August for the monthly shmup. The new shmup for September is Dangerous Seed. A very traditional arcade, like early 90s arcade shmup.
Nice.
Not too complicated scoring systems, but some of the scoring mechanics are just completely baffling mysteries to everybody who's playing it. So it's like, sometimes I miss 20k there, sometimes I get it. Who knows? Whatever.
Yeah.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. The quarterly for July through September is still going strong. Espagluta, that's got some very mysterious scoring mechanics to it. That many other people besides me apparently understand. I do not, but that's fine. I don't play these games because I understand them.
Fair.
And other than that, been doing the typical Salty Android Cactus Plus speedruns. Set a new PB with Licorice the other night.
Sweet.
Licorice.
So dumb.
That's what I said.
That run was just stupid.
Yeah.
I hate the first 80% or 85% of it is just so trash, and then cool PB, thanks. Great, I hate it.
And your summer best, is just
summer best is like
crap.
4.5 minutes ahead, and it's like, what? Come on, don't taunt me like that.
Trashing your summer best.
It's so lame. I kind of hate it, but I do like it because it means there's just that much improvement I can do if I somehow string together some non-trash in the beginning.
Gee, it's almost like you might have to make another submission sometime soon.
Yeah, gee, imagine how that works.
Well, I'm talking about for GDQ.
Oh, yeah. I would like to. I would like to.
They'd
bring
probably
it
make you
back.
play a different one than just, co-op.
Oh, yeah. You could probably
Campaign.
do an aubergine solo run or something.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the campaign itself is almost entirely different.
Nice.
So it would be, I don't know,
Different to...
different to what we originally submitted.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it's a whole revamp of the campaign. So it's
I don't
like,
know if I've ever actually
different.
watched a
Yeah.
speedrun of that yet, because usually I'm not home.
The new one,
So.
yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely, at least for me, it's an average of 15 minutes longer just
Wow.
because of the increased difficulty of the levels.
Yeah.
And you're soft blocking that one too?
I have not encountered it.
Okay, cool.
Sweet.
I think it's just because there are so many more enemies now that they push each other out of the outer ring. It's like, okay, well, maybe it's fixed, maybe it isn't, but
I mean, by virtue of there being so much activity, well,
yeah, I mean, I think it's entirely likely. It's also entirely likely that they fixed it. So
yeah, fair enough.
whatever. Besides that, more marathon practice for Dodonpachi Daifukatsu. I am totally going to lose our head-to-head challenge, but I'm okay with that. I've already come to terms with it.
That is a mouthful of a name.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I know. It's fun to say, though. Dodonpachi Daifukatsu.
Uh-huh.
And also Link to the Past randomizer,
As you do.
as I do. Key Sanity now, most recently.
Uh,
The one I just played last weekend was 207.
Wait a sec. I missed that. You doing Saturday night randos again?
On occasion.
Okay.
It's part of my Saturday night grab bags now. It's
Oh,
just
geez.
like, let's play this every now and again.
Cool.
Plus, I need to practice up for
Yeah, that makes
marathon,
sense.
So,
I need to have Tom try to talk you into doing overworld glitches at some point. They look so cool. And in the randomizer, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
That
my route
exposes
is
so much more logic.
My route is already so trash. I don't know if I want to put glitches into the mix too.
Oh, that's fair.
Is that it? Yeah, I'm gonna call that it.
Cool. Yeah, we've all had a healthy chunk of games in the last 2 months, so that's really good to hear. But second round of songs.
It is time for some more Toonskis.
Yeah, we will begin this chunk of songs with Coding Angel by Jason Covenant from Skies of Arcadia.
Then a remix from Fantasy Zone entitled Opa and Over by Rexy.
And I got one more song from Skies of Arcadia titled Brain Sound Tilt by Gweefrog.
No meep. No more meeps
No-
ever. Well,
no
that's
meeps,
probably not
just
true.
dongs.
Very, very. Never mind. I was going to say something else. I should not going to say that.
Yeah, okay, moving on.
Forget it.
Yep.
So I hear there's an event coming up that certain folks in this room have a hand in.
Yeah, that's true. Like maybe 3 weeks from now.
Yeah,
Which is
it's
terrifying.
Exactly 3 weeks from now. In fact,
Yeah.
it is kind of terrifying because there's so much to do yet.
Yeah.
But hey, why not? So it's in lieu of ad hoc designs this month and technically last month, I suppose. Let's go over the schedule real briefly, since that is now ironed out and everybody is confirmed and everybody will show up and everything will go without a hitch.
Yes, that's confirmed. No
Closest
wood.
wood I've gotten here is probably the molding. There we go.
It's okay. I can knock.
There
on
we
this
go.
one over
Okay,
here, too.
that works. So, October 4th, on that Friday, 6 p.m. CDT to 12 a.m. CDT, roughly. Then October 5th, that's Saturday, 10 a.m. CDT to 12 a.m. CDT, roughly. And then October 6th, that's Sunday, 10 a.m. CDT to around 8 p.m. CDT, depends on how that final run goes, RNG willing. So we start off, we open it up with a Link to the Past randomizer, normal/open mode by Firetron. That will be the starter run, followed by Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. 100% no major glitches run by our very own Enchantress of Numbers. That should
It
be
wouldn't be a
time.
marathon if we don't have Z2.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
Gotta
we
have
all
Z2.
we all kind of have our flagship runs in
Yeah.
most of these marathons.
In
really,
this house, we appreciate Z2.
that's
Yeah.
right. Amongst other
Clap,
things.
clap, clap, clap.
Yep.
Okay.
And then followed by Double Dragon 2, The Revenge, any percent run by Boris, our very own Boris. And then a run of Donkey Kong Country 4,
For the NES.
the bootleg NES demake of Donkey Kong Country.
glorious.
Any percent by Enchantress of Numbers again. And then an F-Zero X X Cup exhibition
Ooh.
run or two by Firetron.
That I'm super excited for.
It's interesting. You get to play guess the shape of that track. Because they are in X Cup, they are all randomly generated tracks.
Yep.
That's the hook to it, which is very interesting for an N64 era game to do.
I know
Yeah.
that game is something else.
Yeah, and
But it's so good.
It runs surprisingly smooth as well for an N64 game, but they owe that to the very short draw distance. So they do some very clever things to kind of get around that. So after F-Zero X, then we have Pet the Pup at the Party, 10 pups.
This time it's a speed run.
Yeah, an actual speedrun, not an exhibition, which we've done a couple times in the past.
Yep.
By Ji Taicho. And then we're finishing up Friday night with an easy run of Quake by Spectre.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one too.
I mean, it's Quake.
It's
Of course,
Quake.
I'm excited.
It is Quack, the good old Quack.
Yeah. What's he playing it on?
It's gonna be a Windows release.
Yeah,
Okay.
it'll be a modern-ish port, I guess, of original Quake. So no need for retro box. We were
Not
able
this
to
time.
able to escape that for the two that might have required it.
Yep.
Um,
I'm absolutely going to doom you all though. When one of my room goes,
I get it.
one of my runs gets in there. We could DOS box it, but I don't want to DOS box it.
Not after all that work you put into
Yeah.
making the gosh dang
I
thing.
mean, I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't make the retro boxes for anyone else but myself. So to be fair,
Fair. That is very fair. So then on Saturday,
All right, cool. We'll start at 10 a.m. with Ghostbusters. It's an any percent run by SexRex. There's going to be some interesting incentives to that, so you might want to tune in. 10:15, we move on to Dodonpachi Daifukatsu, which is real fun to say. That's going to be a 3-mode score match
it's
for a long time.
it's really just going to be an exhibition of trash play and also not trash play.
It depends. We'll have to see. Moving on after that is Hyrule Warriors, which is a long run. That is
Very
the
long
main
run.
story itself. It's just under 5 hours for that run. Spectre's doing that one. Followed by Grease, which is a fabulous game that is extremely well suited for the purpose of this marathon that's being ran by Bernie doing any percent no out of bounds.
Also very pretty.
Yeah, it's an
Oh,
extremely
yeah.
stylized game. The time has come down quite a bit too with new tech. After that, it's going to be Gray's Counter. That's going to be by Beauty Joe. Arcade Pacifist Mode. And then Blossom Tales the Sleeping King, returning with Enchantress of Numbers, doing all bosses. Moving on to Monolith, as Mr. Bond had alluded to earlier. That's going to be Hard Mode, 6 floors with Firetron. And we wrap up the night with Doom 2, Ultra Violent, any percent with Spectre.
And we're going to do all three? Nah.
Yeah.
yeah, sure.
There you go.
All right.
Sunday.
Yep.
Sunday.
Monster Truck Race.
At 10 a.m. on Sunday, we are going to kick things off with Assault Android Cactus Plus, played by our very own Mr. Bond.
It's such a mistake to do that right away in the morning.
Have fun with that.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's going to be a thing.
Oh,
Just
I'm excited.
Pump you full of something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll figure it out. And then following that is at 11:15, Super Metroid 100% by Boris.
With some assistance.
Well,
I
I
think.
mean, no, it's just going to be him doing
Yeah.
it, but
Oh, okay. It's
we'll
going to
have
be with assistive commentary.
various
Yeah.
commentaries going on,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah, he can make it.
Yeah,
We're good.
absolutely. And his time's come down a whole lot in practice, so it's going to
Right
be a good
on.
time.
And wow, this is quite a Super Metroid
Yeah,
block.
it's a big old block.
The next one we've got is Super Metroid Arcade Exhibition.
Which is a real fun time.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
see if EI can get another PB this time.
it's a pretty good staple of many of our marathons as well.
Yep.
We're
Yep.
glad that EI introduced that one to me.
Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be played by EI. That's gonna be really exciting to watch. Followed by Super Metroid. This time though, it's gonna be a randomizer.
Mhm.
And those flags are, you start with Varia, or...
Oh, it's a combination of Varia and SM Rat flags, which is Super Metroid Rando Accessibility, and I don't know what the T stands
Yeah, that's
for,
fine.
but
Yeah.
it's something.
Cool.
So are those flags like to kind of make things a bit easier, or
It's kind of like a set of flags where you can make it all the way through the game without knowing like any serious glitchy stuff.
Oh,
Ah,
okay.
okay.
Good.
Nice.
Cool. And then finally, to wrap up the event, we've got The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, randomizer Key Sanity,
Oy.
Yeah, have fun.
played by MrBond.
RNG willing will wrap this up on time.
I hope it trolls the hell out of you.
But
Oh,
I
yeah.
guess since all these submissions that were gathered now a month and a half ago were before people had really started practicing and doing all this, so they're based on the original estimates they gave in submissions. So I'm hoping that those estimates are now running high, and we will then be ending the marathon at a reasonable time
We'll see.
and not having my stupid 4-hour key sanity random going way past.
We
That's-
believe in you.
I mean, I believe in me. I don't believe in the RNG though. Like that
You
has
gotta believe in the heart of the cards.
been real bad.
Oh dear.
Although the last one I did was only 207, so
Wow.
I know
That's
really
surprisingly
good.
decent,
it was
actually.
very good.
And
I
that was
was
open
like,
mode as well, right?
That was open mode key sanity.
Wow, good job.
Mhm.
That's real strong.
Yeah, I'm getting better at it. Like I used to not have any idea of like key counts, and now the different numbers of items in dungeons due to keys being mixed around too. But now I've kind of got a good feel for it. So
Rad.
I'm hoping the original estimate of what did I say? 345, 330.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm hoping that's super high,
Yeah, we're gonna.
and
we're
we
gonna
get like a
find out.
flat 3 or something. Flat 3, I would be perfectly happy with.
Fair enough. So yeah, I'm gonna. Oh, are you gonna use a different tracker for that one so you can track the keys?
Well, I won't be seeing the tracker, so I will require assistance on whoever's hosting and/or tracking for me.
Yeah, that's gonna be a thing.
But yes, there is definitely a tracker variant for Key Sanity that does have proper key counts.
I
and all
assume
that.
that you're gonna have your special mobile version running on your phone or something. No, you're just
Oh,
gonna
no,
YOLO
man.
it.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Good.
I mean, really, the only thing I use the tracker now for my own runs is really just the map to
That's
see
fair.
like which things. Oh, I can go get this now, but
Yeah.
I've been trying to rely more on yield memory, and it's like 80% there.
Yeah, I mean that much better than mine. But yeah, that's the entire schedule for Super Stigma Slam for this year.
Yeah, 30-ish hours. We've got incentives going for a handful of these runs. We'll be querying our various players for other incentives to add going along, which includes a couple bid wars, a couple challenges for the people actually playing the game. So donate X amount per occurrence that happens, or whatever. And we'll also be having the tech improvements to actually be able to track that sort of stuff. So improvements all around.
Indeed. Now, speaking of things that involve watching this, it's not going to be on this channel.
Correct.
It is instead going to be
Yes.
at twitch.tv/SuperStigmaSlam, or simply you can go to superstigmaslam.com, which will be a lovely place for you to see what the donation total is, how to donate, incentive information, all that kind of thing. So, yeah, we're going to be hyping that up, and certainly around the event, please also help us hype that up. And it's going to be primarily on Twitter, through our Discord, so on. So retweets are always appreciated. Things along those natures. So it's going to be a real hype time. We're not doing it overnight this time, but hopefully we'll do just as well as last year. So
I had a thought, and then it just escaped.
I mean,
So it
that's
must not have been important.
I mean, it's a common thing for me. I mean, whether it's important or not, but
Yeah, right. But I
Aging.
figured if it was important, I figured it would have stuck around for more than like a half a second. But
well,
hey,
fair enough. You'll remember it as soon as the meep starts. So,
right,
Yeah.
right. Well, I think that will wrap it up for tonight. Then, any other final closing thoughts that we need to make known?
No, just in 3 weeks, make sure you tune in.
3 weeks.
And then in 4 weeks,
3
make sure to
weeks.
tune into the after show.
The post mortem.
Yeah.
Oh
But-
boy.
That sounds so morbid.
Yeah,
I
that's
know,
why I didn't
right?
say it.
Well, it's
I get ya.
it's just a common term.
I know.
Fine.
I understand. But yeah, I think we're good.
We are. I mean, you could call this a pre-post mortem if you'd like.
Fine,
That make it just a mortem.
I guess.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Aye. All right. Well, that'll do it for us tonight. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm MrBond.
I'm Tormod.
And I'm Saxxon.
I don't know why I said thanks for watching. People just on audio be like, oh, didn't watch. Just listen.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, watching, or whatever. Well, either way.
Thanks for consuming our media.
Yes.
Yeah. Engage.
Ring that bell or whatever. Like, comment, subscribe, and smash that bell or whatever the heck the kids say nowadays. All right. Either way, thanks for watching and/or listening, everybody. We will leave you with our typical closing track, a remix from Mario Kart Wii entitled "The Wind in Your Hair" by Overclocked University. Good night, everybody.
Ciao.
Adios.